India claims to be one of the world's largest democracy, where freedom of speech is supposedly guaranteed by our constitution. But the reality, journalists jailed, comedians arrested, movies censored, and social media accounts banned overnight. Free speech in India now is just an illusion, carefully controlled, strategically restricted, and dangerously manipulated. This isn't democracy, it's controlled chaos, masked under fake label of freedom. Today we unveil the real truth behind the freedom of speech in India, about India's so-called freedom of speech. Why does speaking truth to power land people in jails? How did expressing an opinion become a rebellion today? This isn't just a theoretical debate. Your own words online tomorrow may land you behind bars. Let's debate this hard-hitting reality today. In episode 16 of the series Bigger Picture, we are going to discuss and debate about the freedom of speech in India. Are we really free? On paper, Article 19, Clause 1, Subclause A of Indian Constitution gives every citizen freedom of speech and expression. However, the promise comes with loaded of conditions and exceptions. Let me tell you the reality. In 2023 alone, India has dropped 11 positions to 161 out of 180 countries in Press Freedom Index (PFI). More than 160 journalists faced threats or arrests in 2023-2024. Over 9,000 cases filed under draconian Sedition Law since 2014. Freedom of speech isn't that free as the government claims. It has hidden costs, often paid with careers, freedom, or even sometimes lives. Let's know more about the Sedition Law, which is coming from the British Empire. The Sedition Law, Section 124A of Indian Penal Code (IPC), was enacted in 1860 by British rulers to silence freedom fighters like Bala Gangadhar Tilak and Mahatma Gandhi. Shockingly, the colonial era law is still weaponized in the modern day India. Journalist Siddiq Kapan spent 2 years in jail without even clear charges. Climate activist Disha Ravi arrested for simply sharing a document online in 2021. Why does independent India still cling to a law used by colonial rulers? Social media, a new battlefield for freedom of speech. Social media has empowered millions, giving voice to voiceless. But in India, sadly, it became a double-edged sword. In 2024 alone, the Indian government requested Twitter and Meta to censor 1,200 accounts. Thousands of YouTube videos are blocked, accounts banned, channels demonetized overnight. Recent controversies including Grok AI and Indian authorities revealed alarming concerns around digital privacy and online freedom of speech. Technology that once amplified voices is now being manipulated to silence dissent. Media houses, news or propaganda. Mainstream Indian media today is accused of operating more like propaganda outlets rather than independent news sources. Let's do a reality check. India Today, Republic TV, News, Times Now, all accused different points of promoting biased reporting to protect government interests. Independent news outlets like The Wire, Alt News or NDTV face continuous legal battles, raids and harassments for unbiased journalism. Is the media the fourth pillar of democracy or just another tool for political control on the society? Entertainment censorship. Recently, we have seen many cases in this particular section. Samay Raina's India Got Latent show on YouTube, which is banned because of the guest, where the creator have taken down all episodes of that particular show. The guest named Ranveer Alhabadia made some comments on the contestants' parents, and right now these cases prove that there is certain limit and we should not cross that particular line. Even though the freedom of speech and expression exists in India, India's Got Latent is not an isolated case. Comedians and artists found themselves many times crossing this particular line at the center of controversies or behind the bars. So we can conclude that there will be a particular limit for freedom of speech and expression. But the very basic heart of the freedom of speech and expression should not be tampered every time when a journalist write a blog or a creator make a video. Let's compare the global stand with India's existing freedom. Globally, freedom of speech varies as per the country's traditions or law of the land. Scandinavia leads the freedom of speech and expression, where journalists rarely involved in cases. USA, despite challenges, their constitution protect freedom of speech and debate, so they discuss any political topic openly in public every time. China heavily censors media compared to North Korea. So these are extremes of the freedom of speech and expression. time. In case of India, every time we take a middle path. We are not like China, we are not like Scandinavia or USA. We go in the middle path every time. A limit for the freedom of speech and expression is very much needed, and it is in place today in India. What is the hidden cost if freedom of expression goes like China? This isn't about journalists or comedians. Tomorrow, maybe your particular post online or a comment on politics might give you more troubles than you expect. Raising intolerance online and offline leads to fear among citizens. Dissenting voices will be crushed. Free speech will be a luxury, not a liberty. Your basic democratic right will be under threat if we move towards the concepts of China. Free speech basically shouldn't be a privilege. It is a fundamental right in India, must reclaim its very democratic principles or risk losing the very soul of democracy. Now the question is not about whether you can speak freely, but the ongoing situations tell us that the freedom of speech and expression is silently being killed. It is not about whether you can freely express or not. It is about whether you can demand for your rights or not. What do you think? Is India losing its freedom of speech permanently? Let's debate in the comment section below. Keeping citizens poor isn't morally wrong. It is also economically disastrous. Poverty leads to crime, extremism, and social unrest. Basically, it limits the economic growth because government prefers handouts like schemes and all over skill development. Politically motivated poverty destroys by turning voters into dependents. India's democracy can't survive with people living in poverty. Recently, I visited a hospital to get treatment for a small minor issue with my health. I was waiting in the queue as everybody, and it's 7 p.m. The doctor arrived, and there is a OP queue. It is around 50 to 60, and I am fourth person in the queue. So the first person went in, second person went in, third person went in. They got their prescriptions and all. And when it's my turn, there is a person who came very fast, and people were moving aside to let him in first. Then I stopped him. There are 50 people in the line, in the OP queue. So why should he go in first to get the appointment of the doctor, even though his name is not on the list? Here, there are many things to blame. One is health sector or the particular hospital. Maybe it's a very prestigious hospital. He's a very famous lawyer who earns in crores. He might be doing his practice in high court, but still I am in the line and I am waiting for the doctor's appointment. So here, who is the person to blame? Either the doctor or me questioning the society and the system. Let's see rich versus poor in this video. How politics keeping you divided. This isn't just about income gaps or wealth. It is a political weapon used against you every day. Political parties around the world, especially in India, don't want the poor to become rich. They want you to be poor, angry, and mainly dependent because you are a guaranteed vote for a party. It might be any party, but you are a guaranteed vote. This is not a theory. This is harsh reality. Politics doesn't thrive when there is unity. It thrives on division, and the easiest way to divide people, either caste or money. Keep the poor against rich, the middle class against everyone, and you secure power forever. This is the definition of politics in India. This political weapon has reshaped India many times, and every major policy is affected because of this wealth politics. Today we are going to expose their game regarding the wealth politics. Let's debate about this topic in episode 13, Rich versus Poor, how politics keeping you divided, where there will be unbiased debates. If you watched till here, then definitely you might be loving this video. Please let the YouTube algorithm know that by liking and commenting it. Thank you for watching this episode. This is Rohit D. Sharma signing off. Until